Voltaire was released in 1933. This is directed by John G. Adolfi. It's written by Paul Green and Maude T. Howell, based on the novel by George Gibbs and E. Lawrence Dudley. And we have a cast including George Arliss, Doris Kenyon, Margaret Lindsay, Reginald Owen, and various others. I watched this for Doris Kenyon. I probably wouldn't have watched it otherwise, and to be honest, I found it to be a little bit dull. It focuses on parts of Voltaire's life. Not sure how accurate it is. It looks at his connection with Madame de Pompadour and various other people. And honestly, as a narrative, I found it really, really boring. The specifics of the story are not that interesting. It's not that Voltaire's story doesn't seem like a story that's worth telling. I'm by no means an expert on Voltaire, but I have a little bit of knowledge. He was a writer and philosopher in France, and yeah, I mean, there are aspects of his life that are interesting enough, but I just found the story or the storytelling to be quite boring and not engaging, and the characters themselves were not that interesting either. Not necessarily badly written, they were believable, likeable enough, but not enough to save the film when the narrative itself, for me, was not that engaging. It was kind of cool to see Doris Kenyon as Madame de Pompadour. I think certainly my introduction to Madame de Pompadour was the version of the character in Doctor Who, so quite interesting to see Doris Kenyon in that role, but again, for me, not enough to save the film. But the performances were good. I liked the costumes. I don't know if they're time period appropriate, but they do look good. Good camera work. I'd say technically, the technical aspects, they're all good, no problems there. Good line delivery, realistic characters, and I guess the narrative itself felt believable. I just didn't think it was told in a way that was interesting. It was dry, it was slow. It didn't make me want to go and learn more about Voltaire. Now, that's not saying I won't learn more about Voltaire, but with films like this, they're supposed to give you interesting snippets of a person's life, making you want to learn more about that individual. And honestly, I came away from it realising I could not care less. And that's not the kind of takeaway I should have from a biographical film. Do I recommend it? I guess if you're interested in Voltaire, give it a go. I can't vouch for the accuracy, but I would imagine it's worth watching. Or if you're a fan of anybody in the cast, I watched it for Doris Kenyon. Again, give it a go. You might like it. But if you're just looking for an enjoyable narrative, there aren't any specific pull factors, then in general, I don't know, maybe as background company, but I don't really think it's one that's worth watching unless there is a specific reason why you want to watch it.